This is an AHM GG1, and I can't fix it. Yet. And today I'm going to dive into exactly why that is. So let me take off the shell, and I can kind of show you what's going on in here, so long as the shell wants to cooperate with me. So as you can see, there's a motor sitting in here, and this piece fell out. And this piece has something to do with that. So I have the shell off, and I have removed the motor from where it was kind of sitting, and I just want to use, with this really crappy controller, I want to give this motor some power and show you exactly why I can't fix this thing. So let me get some of these old wire leads hooked up. And as you can see, now that I got everything hooked up to the motor itself, once I have it properly on, the headlight turns on, but the motor does nothing. If I turn the motor over by hand, you can kind of see the light start to flicker a little when it gets power. But you can see this motor is not running, or is at least very, very slightly running. It's not a good motor, and it's pretty bad. And I'm going to show you exactly how I figured this out, or at least talk about it. And now to explain where everything went wrong, it's time for a little backstory on this thing. I bought it at a sale quite some time ago, and it was just a $5 engine that was sold as not working. Then when I got the thing home, along with some other stuff, I tested it and found out that it did in fact run to some extent. However, it seemed to have a weird electrical issue where it would stall randomly. My original suspicion, since I've worked on some of these Rivarossi models before, is that it could just be a loose screw. I had my Rivarossi Big Boy, which at the exact same show quite some time ago, I bought as a non-working model for $5. The motor I had actually seen working pretty well, and I took the thing apart and found that it was just some loose screws. So I tightened the screws, and I've never had a problem with that locomotive since. So when I went to run this thing and noticed the lights were flickering and it didn't really get good electrical pickup, I assumed that it was either A, an issue with the motor since the lights were staying on constantly, or B, there was just some loose screw somewhere. So I went in, tightened the one screw I could find for the entire electrical system, and it did nothing. And after that, I moved on to just directly testing the motor and figured out that it was dead. Now, the reason I can't fix this thing is because I don't have a motor that'll fit in here, or that has a long enough shaft to attach to the worm gear. I can show you, I have a few spare Rivarossi motors, but they're all different than the one that's in this thing. For the sake of comparison, I have a spare Rivarossi motor. This actually came out of my parts cab forward, and I've just had this thing laying around just in case I'd ever need it. And as you can see, the shaft on this thing is really short. It's only supposed to connect to like a plastic coupler that these Rivarossi things had, which made it really easy for them to use the exact same motor with steam locomotives and whatnot. But that's not the case on the GG1, where it's got this whole contraption at the end of the shaft. I don't know if there's a way to swap this over, and I also don't really know if this motor itself is still any good or not, so I don't really want to risk it. But these motors are very different, and the size of this thing means I don't really have a motor short enough to fit in here. And since I will be replacing the motor anyway, I'd like to put a good one in there, and I don't know what exact motor I would need, what tools, what modifications, all that I would need to do to this thing. So if anyone has any good motor recommendations for this thing, please leave a comment or something down below, because I am looking for a good motor to throw into this thing. But this whole topic leads me into another topic, which is just general restorations and how I go about those. In the past, what I would do is I'd just grab whatever locomotive I had laying around that I had just bought from somewhere, tear it down, and try and fix it. And a lot of the time that actually resulted in restorations just not working out. Like for the first restoration for the ATT FT that I had, for a Tyco Chattanooga, for a whole bunch of random things I just couldn't fix because I tried to dive in without any clue as to what would be underneath. So what I've started doing recently is diagnosing stuff like this to see if it's actually fixable or if I need to prepare and get some parts ahead of time. And by doing just this little bit of diagnostics before working on any locomotive, I've actually screened some restorations and repairs that would have just been really boring, short 1 to 2 minute videos because that wouldn't be interesting. Recently, I've kind of devised a 3-step format for deciding whether or not I should work on something. It doesn't have to meet all these criteria, but I want it to meet at least a bare essential few of them. The first of which is it needs to have something wrong with it, which is why these two are sitting here. There's nothing wrong with them. I bought them as broken parts engines on eBay in a lot, and both of these sprung straight to life. This Norfolk and Western one was pretty reliably running, didn't have any cracked gears or anything, which these Bachmann units are known for. And this Tyco Chattanooga I pulled out of the box and it worked perfectly. I gave it a little bit of fresh oil and some traction tires, and other than that, absolutely nothing had to be done. This would have been like a 30-second repair. So obviously, before I go working on something, I want to make sure it actually needs to be fixed. I don't want to tear into something that's already good. Because as the saying goes, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. The next criteria is it has to be something that's actually somewhat interesting. This is a Tyco GP20 with a power torque that I fixed up just the other day off camera, and I didn't film this thing because I filmed so many power torques before it, and this one's not in exceptionally great shape either. It's a whole bunch of paint issues, it's got no truck covers, none of that, and it was just a basic Tyco teardown. It runs perfectly fine, but there would not have been much interesting about this thing, and I don't think many of you would have wanted to watch another basic Tyco GP20 power torque restoration. And the final piece of criteria, which is what has doomed this GG1, is that it must be a model that I think I can be able to fix. One of these that I tried attacking, which I thought I'd be able to fix, but after some diagnosis, I found that I wasn't, and I had to completely replan the entire video of the thing, was this little 040. So this thing had a weird old motor in it, which I thought I would be able to fix. The magnets on it were too weak, it was having too high of a current draw, and it was just not going to work out. So I had to throw in a random motor I had laying around, and I don't really like the result of this thing. I do want to tear this down, do a complete detail overhaul on this thing, and make it a whole fun rebuild project, but that'll be a project for another time in the future. Now, next to it, I have this really bizarre, I believe it's a German 260, which PlayArt, Lifelike, whoever you want to call it, made these things. These are all known for having cracked gears, and I was not sure that I'd be able to fix these. So this one I took off camera to experiment with fixing. I found a blue box gear that would work, and I got it to run. I don't know if it would have gone that well had I filmed it. I don't know if the video would have even been interesting, because it would have just been a lot of me going through some trial and error on how to mount a gear onto that drive shaft. But if I find another one of these things, I do want to film a video with it. Now that I have the knowledge and I know what needs to go into it, I can do it. And then lastly, we have an engine that I've been waiting on because there's more I want to do to it than the skills I have currently, which is this 460. This is a Varney unit. I want to do a complete overhaul, repaint, redetailing, and decaling of this thing, but I don't really have the airbrushing skills or any of that yet, and I'd like to replace the motor and a whole host of other things. So the parts on this thing are here, I just don't know if my skills to fully complete the project, which I want to just do in one whole video, are there yet. So this thing's kind of on the back burner, and it's going to get fixed at some point when I can give it a complete cosmetic rebuild as well. So with all that said and done, this was just a little explanation on why I'm not able to restore this thing just yet. I got it a little bit of time ago, and most of the other engines that I bought on the same day are fixed and up and running now, and this one is not, and that's why. I want to get this thing done, but I want to make sure I can get the restoration done properly, and while going through that, I guess you've now learned how I decide what engines I restore. So if you've got any recommendations for motors, let me know. And if you think my criteria process for a restoration is good, bad, whatever, also let me know.